Was full of confidence, the things that he's been saying and what he's been doing outside of the ring, jumping into the ring, calling out Usyk.
He might be looking too far ahead.
Is he really focused on this fight that's in front of him?
If you win against Daniel Dubois, would you say you are Samoa and New Zealand's greatest ever fighter?
I'll say New
I know
Zealand.
you're very modest, but,
honestly,
honestly,
I'll say New Zealand. But Jaya Bataille would be someone who's, he lost the belt, he won it back, got the Ring Magazine belt. And he's looking to unify as well. So that's the Samoan part. Like him and I are both representing Samoa at the top stage. But in New Zealand, it would be best in New Zealand.
This isn't just trash talk. It's a war. Two fierce warriors ready for battle, charging toward an inevitable clash. Joseph Parker is keeping it real. We don't have much to say. I might talk a little more, but it's always respectful until that bell rings. But don't be fooled. Once those gloves touch, respect disappears. No more words, no more handshakes, just raw aggression. Two beasts in the ring, prepared to destroy.
Too much bad blood between you two. It all seemed pretty respectful.
Listen, we don't really have a lot to say, the both of us. Probably I say a little bit more than he does, but it's always respectful before the fight. And then once you're in the ring, it's a different story. We want to bash each other up and win.
Destroy each other. Only one will remain standing. This is more than just a fight. It's a battle for supremacy. And neither fighter is backing down. Chaos is coming. Parker isn't blind to what's happening. He sees Daniel Dubois looking past him, already planning for bigger fights. And that's a massive mistake. If you're calling out another fighter before handling business in the ring, you're overlooking the guy in front of you, Parker said. His tone
gives you that
impression. Well, if you jump in the ring and call out another fighter, after the Usyk and Fury fight, it's a big sign that you're overlooking the fight that's in front of you. But I know they're planning ahead and they want the big fights down the line, but you have to really focus.
Sharp. He knows Dubois and his team are focused on future matchups, but Parker isn't just some stepping stone. You have to focus on what's in front of you. If Dubois doesn't, he might wake up flat on his back, staring at the lights. But Dubois isn't fazed. He's on a mission, and Parker is just another victim in his path. I'm on another level, too strong, too fast. Whatever Parker throws at me, I'll outdo him. Dubois fired back, his confidence undeniable. This isn't just about winning, it's about domination. I don't need to say much. My fists will do the talking. When I step into that ring, Parker won't know what hit him. Dubois is in his prime, and he knows it. I've been in this game for a while, but right now it feels like I'm just getting started.
On a roll, I feel like, I'll be just too much for him, too strong, too fast. Everything he does, I'm going to do better. And I'm confident, man. I ain't got to say too much. I don't do too much talking, so, just let the fans tune in. It's going to be a great fight.
Listen, I've been boxing for a while and I feel like I've only just begun now. I feel like I've got everything right now and you're in for a treat.
Good, I'll teach you a few things in there, If you just started, I'll teach you a few lessons, some new skills.
My power, my technique, my hunger, it's all coming together. Parker might think he's ready, but I'm about to drop a masterclass in power and precision. I'll teach him lessons he's never learned, show him things he hasn't seen. This is just the beginning. The heavyweight division is about to witness a storm. Joseph Parker, however, is unfazed. Every fight is a battle for survival, and this one is no different. We treat this fight like every other, very seriously, he said, his focus razor sharp. He understands what's at stake. Daniel's the champion of the world, and we're approaching...
We treat this fight like every other fight, very serious. And Daniel Dubois is the champion of the world, so going into this fight, and every other fight we've been into, we take it seriously. We train hard, put in the work. There's no pressure. You put pressure on yourself if you don't train hard, and you don't do things right.
This fight like we do every challenge. We train hard, we put in the work. But pressure? Parker doesn't feel it. Pressure only exists if you didn't prepare properly, if you cut corners. We don't do that. He's locked in, mind and body, ready for war. When he steps into that ring, he knows he's left no stone unturned. And in his mind, there's no doubt about the outcome. The heavyweight division better take notice. Because Parker isn't
Aggressive, he comes forward. I can be aggressive myself. I can also box on the back foot. It just depends on what game plan Andy Lee comes up with. We've started the sparring phase and we are implementing things that we're working on. But when time goes on in training camp, I'm going to have a better understanding of what Andy really wants going into the fight and what I'm going to execute.
backing down. So, who takes the win, Dubois or Parker? Drop your predictions below. Parker knows exactly what kind of storm Dubois is bringing. Aggression, pressure, nonstop forward movement. But he's not backing down. I can be aggressive too, he said with quiet confidence. I can also box off the back foot. It all depends on the game plan Lee comes up with. Deep in training camp, Parker is sharpening his tools. We've started sparring.
I know that Daniel Dubois is really focused on us because that's the fight he has next. And if you overlook someone, it can be your downfall. So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm going for two-time.
It's good. It's good. They're making the same mistake they always make. They're making the same mistake they make every time. When he fought Wilder, it was Wilder AJ, and he overturned him. When he beat Zhang, it was supposed to be Wilder Zhang, but he overturned him. They're making the same mistake they make every time. But it's great for us.
Working on specific things. As camp goes on, I'll have an even clearer picture of what Andy really wants me to do in that ring. One thing's for sure, when fight night comes, Parker will be locked in and ready to execute with precision. They're making the same mistake every time, Parker said, almost amused. When Dubois fought Wilder, they already had their eyes on the next big fight. Against AJ, they thought it was a done deal. With Zhang, that was supposed to set up Zhang versus Wilder. But Dubois shattered their plan. And now, they think I'm just another step on their path. They're dead wrong. Parker's confidence is unshakable. Overlooking me is the worst thing they can do, and they'll realize it too late. I'm coming for that two-time...
No, I mean, I'm kind of like Joseph's unofficial promoter. He's a mate of mine, I love him, and I think he's going to win.
Been fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's just taking it really seriously. You know, I think all fighters just find that moment where they say, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to be smarter. And Joseph, every time you see him, he looks strong. You know, and he's worked really, really hard. I think, by all accounts, I don't know him, but you know, his strength and conditioning trainer, I think it's George Lockhart. You know, has made a massive difference to, you know, his engine. And now I think he's taking it seriously. I think he's in the form of his career, and I think he's got the kind of style that will really trouble.
Status. If they want to make the same mistake again, that's just perfect for me. Eddie Hearn wasn't holding back, his words carrying intensity. Joseph Parker isn't messing around this time. Every fighter reaches that moment where they say, enough is enough. I'm going to push harder, train smarter, and leave no stone unturned. And Parker, every time you see him, he looks stronger, sharper, like a man on a mission. Hearn continued, he's worked unbelievably hard, and you can see it in his conditioning, his endurance.
It's been like that, isn't it? A nice guy act, but I know once the bell goes, we're going to try and take each other's heads off. So, you know, I'm just in my bubble, my own circle.
Joe?
Listen, I like it that he's full of confidence. He's sky high at the moment, but it's all going to stop on the 22nd of February.
It's all on another level. He wasn't done yet. Listen, I don't know him personally, but his strength and conditioning coach, George Lockhart, has turned him into an absolute machine. His engine is relentless. Right now, I'd say this is the best version of Parker we've ever seen. If there's anyone who can trouble Dubois and throw his whole game plan out the window, it's Joseph Parker. Parker might be all smiles now, but don't let that fool you. Once the bell rings, it's all business. He's always been the nice guy, but when the fight starts, it's a different story. We're going to try to take each other's heads off.
If you win against Daniel Dubois, would you say you are Samoa and New Zealand's greatest ever fighter?
I'll say New
I know
Zealand.
you're very modest, but,
I'll say
honestly...
I'll say New Zealand, but Jaya Bataille would be someone who's, you know, he lost the belt, he won it back, got the Ring Magazine belt, and he's looking to unify as well. So that's the Samoan part. Like him and I are both representing Samoa at the top stage, but in New Zealand it would be best in New Zealand.
He said with a grin. The intensity is real. I'm in my own world right now, in my bubble. I'm focused, and nothing is going to distract me. Dubois respects Parker's confidence, but he's not impressed. Sure, he's feeling high right now, but it's all going to crash on February 22nd. That's when reality hits. I'm bringing a storm, and he won't be able to handle it. Barker didn't hold back when predicting the showdown between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. According to him, Parker is in for a rude awakening. Parker, when it comes to Dubois, he's just another name on the list, Barker said boldly. He doesn't stand a chance against Dubois' power and raw aggression. He sees this fight as a mismatch. Dubois is on a different level, and no one can match his intensity.
They're really looking forward to the fight. I love it as a match. I think it's a very good sign that Daniel Dubois is taking a defence like this. But Joseph Parker's been in phenomenal form. Him and Andy Lee have got this great bond. So too is Daniel Dubois with Don Charles. I think it's terrific. I think if Joe Parker's still knocking around after 4 or 5, it becomes a very hard fight for Daniel Dubois. But Dubois has got real power, as we saw against Joshua. So, yeah, Parker's been down. He's been knocked out by Joe Joyce. Dubois, the fresher guy, but Joseph Parker's on such great form at the moment. I think it's a terrific, terrific matchup, and it's not even the main event.
Strength, speed, and relentless pressure will break Parker down, Barker continued. Sure, Parker's fast, but speed won't save him when Dubois is coming at him with everything he's got. Come fight night, Barker believes Parker will be outclassed, and Dubois will prove to the world that there's a new heavyweight king. Adam Smith is all about the hype for this fight, and he's got strong opinions on the battle between Dubois and Parker. I can't wait for this. It's the fight we've all been waiting for, and it's one heck of a matchup.
I think Parker just a bit too much and tough. So I think Parker's going to do it. Yeah.
On points?
I don't actually know. I'm thinking if it is on points, it'll be close. Or he's just going to. I think either he stops Dubois in good fashion, and if he doesn't, then it'll be close on points.
Smith said with excitement. He's all in on Dubois, especially after witnessing his dominant power, including that brutal knockout against Joshua. But Smith isn't counting Parker out. He's in top form now, and he's coming into this fight with everything he's got. Parker's been on fire lately, and with his bond with Andy Lee, you can tell he's in the right place mentally and physically. Smith added that if Parker can survive the first few rounds, things could get rough for Dubois. It's going to be a hard-fought battle, but Dubois has that power that could turn the tide in an instant. He believes this fight is a true test for both warriors. Don't forget, this isn't even the main event, but it's definitely the one everyone's going to be talking about. David Adelaide, however, has a different take. He's backing Parker to win and is confident in his prediction. Parker's just too much for Dubois, Adelaide said. He's tough, and that's going to make all the difference. He's picking Parker to win on points. He acknowledges that it won't be easy. It's going to be close, no doubt. Parker's got the skill to control the fight. But if he doesn't stop Dubois early, it's going the distance. Whether by knockout or a hard-fought decision, Adelaide believes Parker's experience and toughness will ultimately lead him to victory. So, who's your pick for this epic clash? Dubois or Parker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intense match breakdowns. See you next time.